Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's a pleasure being here today. I appreciate God for making it possible for us to see another day. Today, we are going to say a topic that is so great, a topic that is one of the tools to train people so that the leadership can continue, which is delegating information. Delegation is necessary to develop leaders that will come after us. This program or presentation is going to be an interactive section. 40%, 60%. 40% from me, 60% for you. You feel free to always chat me on the chat box for any comments, clarification, and suggestion. Slide 2. You can see the Vice Chancellor, Academician, Senior Professor, Dr. Chaplain General Ebhoria Charles. On the chat box, I will also be grateful to see and to know you in person, as in your name, your experience, and the country you come from. I'm an educationalist, academician, motivational speaker, a researcher, a consultant, I'm an instructor, lay theologian, counselor, a faith formator, an IIU Vice Chancellor with more than 33 years working experience, a peace ambassador, and a founder of Dynamic Peace Rescue Mission International. Open prayer before we move forward further. The prayer of humility. Oh Father, give us the humility which realizes his ignorance, admits his mistakes, recognizes his needs, welcome advice, accept rebuke. Help us always to praise rather than to criticize, to empathize rather than discourage, to build rather than to destroy, and to think of people at their best rather than at their worst. This is, we ask the namesake. Slide 3. Slide 4. Dedication, as we all know, in Exodus 18, 30 to 23, tells us if we are wise leader, we should share our leadership load with other people. By delegating certain duties to others, we are actually giving them opportunity to serve. Slide 4, your expectations. Your major interest is what? What question do you? What do you want to know about delegating information? Slide 5. The contents. Nature of delegation. Process of delegation. Delegation and management. Slide 6. Scoring of diagnostic survey. At your scores for the 10 items and note your score before the course. After a self-determined period, repeat the survey and note your post score. Note that there is no separate scoring sheet for this survey. Rating scale. 1, strongly disagree. 2, disagree slightly. 3, slightly disagreed. 4, slightly agreed. 5, agreed. 6, strongly agreed. In the course of the survey, the following assessment is made. When delegating work to others, 1, I specifically and clearly work to others. I specify the level of initiative I want others to take, e.g., waiting for directions, do part of the task and then reports, do the whole task and then reports. 3, I allow participation by those accepting assignments regarding when and how work will be done. I make certain that the amount of authority I give matches the amount of responsibility I give for processing results. 5, I maintain accountability. For results. 6, I work within existing organizational structure when delegating assignments, and I don't bypass someone without informing him or her. Just as I said, you score yourself on it. After the completion of the exercise, you will know exactly whether your score is right or Hello, what happened? Hello? Mina, what happened? Hello?
Yes, here you see Charles. You can continue.
Just as I was saying, we have a survey which we need to look at. But we assess this survey, I am telling us that everything will be over concerning what we need to learn about delegation. In the survey, you had your scores for the 10 items and note your pre-scores before the course. After a self-determined period, repeat the survey and note your post-score. Note that there is no separate scoring sheet for this survey. What are the rating like? Rating scale. If you score your first one, that means you strongly agreed. 2, you disagreed slightly. 3, you slightly disagreed. 4, you slightly agreed. And 5, you agreed. 6, you strongly agreed. What are the assessments like? When delegating work to others. 1, I specify clearly work to others. 2, I specify the level of initiative I want others to take. E.g., I wait for directions, do part of the task and then reports, do the whole task and then reports, etc. Assessment 3, allow participation by those accepting assignments regarding when and how work will be done. 4, I make certain that the amount of authority I give matches the amount of responsibility I give for producing results. 5, I make accountability for results, not for method use. 6, I work within existing organizational structure when delegating assignments, and I don't bypass someone without informing him or her. 7, 5, but also provide needed support. 6, I delegate consistently, not just when I am overloaded. 7, I avoid upward delegation by asking people to recommend solutions rather than merely asking for advice or answers when a problem is encountered. 10, I make clear consequences of success or failure. Slide 8, the conclusion. From what I've just said, if you have any question, you have any clarification, you have any comments, kindly write on the chat box. Slide 9, reflect and share. Reflect and share. Recall on occasion when you are delegated and it went well, what happened? Recall another occasion when you or someone else delegated and it did not go well, what happened? What did you learn from these two situations or experiences? Assuming you are able to do the survey very well, you see that when there is commotion, when there is, it shows that not clearly specified the essence of accountability is not there. It shows that the delegation was not done consistently. It showed that there is commotion in delegation. It shows that delegation was not fully spelled out, as in the consequences of failure or success. But when it went well, it shows that there was a clear consequences of failure and success. It shows that there was specified work which was done in a very clear nation. Understanding was there. It also showed that one makes certain amounts of authority, and the authority one says or said matches the amount of responsibility. Hence, there should be results. Slide 9. Reflect and share. Recall on occasion when you or someone else delegated and it went well, just as I said, what happened? Recall another occasion when you or someone else delegated and it did not go well, what happened? What did you learn from these two situations and experiences? Very clear. That is why when we are delegating job, we should make sure the person understands it went well. You must make sure there is true openness, transparency. Avoidance of that, you see, there will be coerce. Slide 10. Nature of delegation. Nature of delegation. When on the chart, write on the chart what you feel the nature of delegation should be. Nature of delegation. When you are passing job, how do you want it to look like? Slide 11. Slide 11 now is what seeing. Move the slide. Slide 11 now. Eminem, move it. Hello, Eminem. Slide 11. This is slide. There are a lot of activities here. What do you see? Please look at it closely. You see some pictures there. What do you see? Write on the chart box what you have seen there. Concerning the topic of delegation, what does it mean to you? Write on the chart too. What do you see? Can you write on the chart box? Note that the big truck stands for a team leader. The big truck we are seeing stands for a team leader. The goods is carrying stands for his great responsibilities. The bridge with limited capacity of 10 tons stands for the limitation of time, capability, and working condition. The empty small trucks stand for team members that are often free during their working hours because the team leader shoulder all hard work. Looking at this vehicle carrying 20 tons and the bridge can only carry just 10 tons. And the members are there looking at him, but the leader is the one suffering, carrying the whole load. If that 20 ton the leader is carrying across the bridge will collapse. Every one of them will fall inside the river. What the leader should do is do what? To delegate this job to all those people that are free, the three of them. Then the job will be done very well. Slide 13, discussion. Right on the chat box. What is delegation? What do you think delegation is? How does delegation differ from assignments? Also write on the chat box. Slide 14. Now, I want to treat that delegation. Delegation means giving someone else responsibility and authority to act on your behalf. Delegation is giving someone else the responsibility and authority to act on your behalf. Slide 15. Delegation is asking someone else to do something which is within your scope of responsibility. Which is within your scope of responsibility. While job assignment is asking a subordinate to do something which is within their scope of responsibility. Slide 16, exercise. Delegation or assignments. Slide 16. Earlier, we talked about delegation and assignment. Now, okay, delegation or assignments. There is an office boy, a secretary guide, a security guide in your organization. The office boy has had an accident. His arm is in a plaster cast. He's not allowed to take too many days off. So he has to go to work today. His manager has a guest and he has to make some drinks because of his hot hand. He asked the secretary, the security guard, to make the drink. Feel free to chat me on the box, on the chat box. Your response, whether this scenario is dedication and an assignment. Just as I said, I said dedication is asking someone else to do something which is within your scope of responsibility, while assignment is asking a subordinate to do something which is within their scope of responsibility. So you now tell me if this scenario is an assignment or a delegation. Exercise 2. An enterprise needs an assistant manager to help the director. The director asked the manager of the personnel department to interview a candidate. Is this an assignment or a delegation? Right on the slides, on the chat box, you say slide 16, because this one is slide 16. Slide 16, number 1, is it delegation or an assignment? You write it there. Slide number 2 of slide 16, is it an assignment or delegation? You write it there. The first person have the prize to win. I repeat the number 2 question. An enterprise needs an assistant manager to help the director. The director asks the manager of the personnel department to interview a candidate. Is this an assignment or a delegation? Another scenario. 3, a managing director has just been invited to 2 opening ceremony at the same time. Of course, he can go to just one ceremony. So he asked the secretary to go to the other one. Is this an assignment or exercise 4? There's a secretary and receptionist in your organization. So the receptionist is absent. You ask the secretary to do the receptionist work. Is it an assignment or a delegation? Put it on the chat box. Slide 17. We look at authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility. Delegator giving authority and responsibility to the delegates. I repeat again. Delegator giving authority and responsibility to the delegates. And the delegator giving tasks to the delegates. Note, of their job, duties, etc., to someone else to do for them is called a delegator. While delegate is a person sent or authorized to represent others. If an elected representative means to entrust a task or responsibility to another person, typically one who is less senior than oneself. She must delegate duty so as to free herself for more important tasks. Slide 18. Responsibility has to do with the job, the tasks, and the results. When responsibility is given to you, it shows you have a job at hand. And in that your job you have, you need to do what? Perform the results. Authority has to do with resources use. When you are giving somebody authority, the resources used must also go pari passu with the result assignments. Slide 19, delegation. Why are people not willing to delegate? Why are people not willing to delegate? Please write it on the chat box. Why are people not willing to delegate? Slide 20. I must do it to ensure quality. Myself are not strong. My staff are not strong enough. So I must do everything myself. I can do it more quickly. My staff are overloaded with their own work. I cannot make them to do mine. Doing this, that shows that there's no dedication on it. So slide 21 is saying, what are the benefits of delegating? What are the benefits? Write it on the short on the chat box. What are the benefits of delegating? Slide 22. The benefit of delegation. This can be seen in 3 ways. The staff, the manager, and the organization. What about the staff? 1, skills. Gain confidence in one's own ability. Get more motivated. The area of the staff. The area of the manager. Gain more time to increase effectiveness. 2, Have more competent staff. By the time you delegate, the manager will have more competent staff. 3, another benefit to the manager, improve relationship with staff. The staff will be happy. What about the organization? What do organization get? 1, availability of staff for succession plan. 2, business done smoothly. 3, friendly working atmosphere. Friendly working atmosphere. The atmosphere will be good. People will be happy. Slide 23, the conclusion. So we look at the area of clarification, we look at the area of question, and we look at the area of comments. Kindly write on the chat box. If you have any clarification there, you have any question, you have any comment, write on the chat box. I said earlier that this program is interactive. I only have 40 of my inputs. I'll only be talking. You will do the major one of 60%. So I will see it on the chat box before I will be able to know those who answered. And our award will be for those who actually answer very well. Slide 24, which is we have done with the nature of dedication. We are now in the process of dedication. What do you think are the process of delegation? What do you think? Write it on the chat box. You say slide 24. What I think are the process of delegation is this. At the end of the program, we know whether we've answered it or not. Then we know what to do next. Slide 25 talks about the discussion. We will not discuss it. What is discussion like? Recall a time when you have delegated and it did not go well or even backfired. Why do you think this happened? Can they write on the chat box? Slide 26, session objective as in the process of delegation. To practice the process of delegation, that's the section objective. Slide 27, process of delegation. There are 6 processes or process of delegation. What are they? The aims as the objective, the tasks, the responsibility, the work, the people. It is human being that will be used in delegation. No other thing. It's human being. The implementation, how you're going to implement it. What do you think? You can write the chat box before we get there to be explained at the end of the period. Inform others. How do you inform others? What are the things to look at? The feedback. These are the 6 processes of delegation. Slide 28. What are the potential objectives of delegation? What are the potential objectives? 1, when you delegate, it reduces your workload. Just like the other man who was carrying about a goods of about 20 tons. Look at that. And some of you say, men, we are just at the back. Nothing. They were not doing anything. They were looking at him. He was not delegating. But now, we are now being told now that by the time you delegate, what will happen? It reduces your workload. You yourself will be happy. You believe no BP, no tension, no stress. You'll be happy. And that is what we want. We are in this world to be happy. We're not here to be sad. We're not here to be having pains here and there when you are carrying everything on your head. You don't need to. Number 2, what are the potential objectives for delegation? 1, develop staff or members new skills. Look at that. Their skills will be developed. No, they will be happy. New skills. 3, it improves relationship. Everybody will be happy. Relationship, everybody be smiling. 4, it increases commitment, shows there's commitment. 5, it reinforces staff or members' self-confidence. They'll be self-confident. But will be happy. At 29, what are the considerations in selecting the tasks for delegation? What are the considerations? The next slide, 29. What are the considerations in selecting the tasks for delegation? The next slide, 29. 29. Objective of delegation. You look at the importance and the urgency of delegation. We also look at some fee standards. Write down on the chat box. Slide 30. Selecting tasks for delegation. You look at the importance of that particular job. If can it be delegated? If that task can it be delegated, we will look at. Should not be delegated. Can the task not be delegated? Considering assignments, considering whether you have to do it yourself or not. But the importance matters. If it's so important, that means it should do what? It should be delegated. But the urgency of that particular information, task, that is where the leader will be responsible. It should not be delegated. When you delegate, you consider assignments. So the importance to the job, to the task, matters a lot in delegation. The next slide. Who do you delegate what task to? Who do you delegate what task to? You look at certain criteria: the person's capability, the person's experience, the person's career development, the person's interest, and the time for the job to come over. These are the things you look at to delegate the job to whoever. Is the person experienced? Does he have career development? Does he have interest in the job? If you give him the job, will he do it on time or not? You consider who. The next slide, 32. How do you implement delegation? How do you implement delegation? 1, explain the objective of delegation. When you are giving the person job, you tell the person, no, this job, this is how I want to do, this is how I want you to do it. The purpose of this is to do this, is to do this. Let the person know. Specify task results. You specify it, the result of the task, where it's going to, the output, you seize it. Specify the scope of responsibility and authority, the scope, so that it will not deviate. So I will look into it very well. You also agree on the process of implementing and reporting. Very important. You also agree on review and the feedback procedures. The feedback, because if a job is given, at least you want the feedback. The process of the feedback, the procedure of the feedback must be taken into consideration and must be agreed before the job is carried out. You can't give somebody a job without agreeing on how it's going to be. Let the person know with clear objective and specify the results, specify the responsibility and authority. They are very important in delegation. Slide 33. How do you inform others of the delegation? How do you inform others? Yes, by the time a job is given to somebody, others must be informed. How do you do that? The name of the person delegated, name who you are giving that job to should be spelled out. The task delegated, what type of job, so that the person will not go and cause commotion, fighting, quarreling. You are taking over my job. Should not be hard. This is what I want you to do. This is what you do. You will be restricted in that area. You don't need to do another person's job. But by the time you do another, you will not be able to do your own work. And also the responsibility of that person delegated. This is your responsibility. The authority of that person delegated should also be informed. Others should know, so as to make everybody happy. Slide 34, the process of delegation. As I already said earlier, the aims, the tasks, the people, the implements, and inform others, and the feedback you're going to get from what that person, the assignment you are giving that person to do. They are very important in delegating of mission for mission. Slide 35. How do you review and give feedback to the delegates? How do you review the person? One, pay attention to the task results. You are giving work, you need that result. Pay attention to it. The uses of resources, how it's going to implement it, they are very important. Identify issues and solutions. Very, very important. The issue, identify what are the issues as the cause of carrying out the job, what are the issues, identify them, and you need to communicate them, bring solution how to solve it, not just to you are carrying out the job without reporting. All these things must be taken into consideration. So as the person that gave the job will be happy that at least I'm hearing feedback to see, and where it's going to assist will also be there since you are reporting. So when a work is delegated, we should be ready to give feedback, not just to hold it and thinking that we can do it all. It's not possible. We cannot. Slide 36. Based on the scenario presented earlier on delegation, gone wrong, what could have been done differently? Right on the chat box. If you have given somebody a job and it's not doing it properly, the way it's supposed to be, what do you think must have gone? Write it on the chat box. Let's see and discuss it. This is the group work. Slide 37. It's a group work that takes another minutes, but we're going to look at it together here. You are the chairman of the fundraising committee and would like to delegate tasks to the leaders of the existing committee in the organization. Each group will be assigned only one person to delegate to. Carefully follow each step in the process of delegation. What are the steps? Just like we do. Just write it on the chat box. We have about 6 tasks. What are the tasks? We just want to know if we are following. Secondly, choose a delegator or a delegate to replay the scenario and your developed process of delegation. Other members of the group observe and offer feedback at the end. If time permits, have a second pair practice the role play. This is very important. This shows the practical demonstration of the work. Maybe in case of next time, we'll now group people do the necessary because of time factor. We are restricting ourselves in that area. And we look at slide 38, review of group work. Review of group work. I haven't done all this exercise. How was the experience of delegating following the prescribed step? One of those steps we have done, how was the process? How was it like? What did you learn? What did you unlearn? All these are very important. If we are following from the section of our discussion, can see a lot of things are exposed as regard what we should do well, so as to be happy and smile. In conclusion, on the process of the next slide 39, we're going to look at the conclusion, the clarification, the question and comment, right on the chat box, what you discover in the process of delegation. So the next slide, we're going to look at delegation and management. Delegation and management. This has to do with the management aspect of things. We're going to look at it in a broad, we are going to debate it. We're going to have 2 groups. When you look at the slide 41, we're going to have 2 groups. Group A should agree with the statements. I'm going to bring up the statement, but let me break up this. Group A, we agree. We're going to have 2 groups. Group A should be able to agree with the statements of our debates, while Group B should disagree. the statement. We're going to use 5 minutes to discuss it. The representative will present their view and are free to counter each group point. In slide 42, we'll now see the debates. What is the debate like? We're going to look at when a manager has enough time to do all the work he needs not delegate his work to his staff. We're going to agree. Those who said yes for, she should have for A. Those who said B should not. What is the question? What is the debating topic like? When a manager has enough time to do all the work, he need not delegate his work to his staff. So put it on the chat box. Let's see. At the end of the period, we're going to look at it. And we ourselves will know how effective this delegation formation is so important. Slide 43. We're going to look at leaders as managers. Leaders as managers. All good leaders must be good managers, but not all managers are leaders. Those for yes should write on the chat box. You say slide 43, yes. Slide 43, no, you don't believe. You can give me the point two. I repeat again, slide 43, leaders as managers. All good leaders must be good managers, but not all managers are leaders. Slide 44, delegation and time management. Delegation and time management. Why does the manager need more time? More time. Let us look at it from 3 areas of his tasks. Conceptual tasks, personal tasks, and technical tasks. We'll look at that area right on the chat box. I said you are going to do 60% of the discussion, I 40%. We're going to look at it together. Right there. Why does the manager need more time? Let's look at it in 3 areas. Conceptual tasks, personal tasks, and technical tasks. Slide 45, food for thought. Food for thought. Which of the tasks of a country leader, for example, a country director, can be categorized as conceptual, personal, and technical? Food for thought. To look at it also. Maybe the next section will complete it. But with this section, just write your facts. The next section will be able to explain in detail way. Slide 46. We look at delegation and motivational activities. Delegation and motivational activities. Slide 46. Different pairs of participants will post on the following topics for 3 minutes and then share their thoughts. 1, a leader is responsible for motivating his staff. A leader is responsible for motivating his staff. 2, all in a country, meaning the country director team and members are equal in benefit and responsibility. Note, they have to fulfill their responsibilities to get the benefit of being saved, being happy, being great, being fine, being good without any motivation. 3, delegation does not motivate staff and members. On the contrary, delegation makes staff and members feel burdened. If you agree, state it there that in slide 46, number 3, delegation does not motivate staff and members. On the contrary, delegation makes staff and members feel burdened. If you agree, state it there. 4, but interestingly, delegated work motivates staff. That is, interesting delegated work motivates staff and members. Interesting. The word interesting should be looked into. Not just delegation, but interesting delegated work. Motivate staff and members. If you agree, say yes. State it there. 5, only financial benefits and power motivate staff and members. Those who agree and disagree on the above should identify on the child boss. Slide 47. Please share your insights, as earlier said in chart 46. Slide 48. Delegation and motivating people. Delegation and motivating people. Delegation can motivate staff and members because of 1, new elements of the task, development of skill and knowledge, trust of the manager, full use of capability. Look at that. When you're looking at delegation and motivating people, we look at the area of new element of tasks. When you want to motivate somebody as a result of doing delegation, you see that new element of tasks. The development of skills and knowledge will now come, because you are giving a new task. You see that skill will now be knowledge, and the trust. The person will not trust the manager for exposing him to that. And the last one is full use of capability. You are now using them. Slide 49. Delegation and empowerment. Delegation and empowerment. Power of staff and volunteer can be strengthened because their capability is expanded. Look at that. One will be empowered. When you now do what? That capability is expanded. Decision-making skill are improved. Self-confidence is reinforced. And finally, they show more effort to fulfill the task. Can you see? Delegation and empowerment is so important. Let us look at slide 50 to reflect and share on the child boss. Everything is on the child boss because you are having 60%. We will know those who do it. So let us be open enough to do it. Reflect and share on the child boss, this exercise. How can delegation be a tool for developing members of your team or group? How can it be a tool? We share it. How can delegation be a tool for growing spiritually committed team or group members? 3, how can delegation be a tool for building more engaged group and team where the majority of the members are happily involved in the work of evangelization of the team or the group? Slide 51 talks about the section review, right on the chat box. What will you do? What will you start doing as a result of what you learned today? From what you have said so far, what will you now start doing? 2, what will you do differently as a result of what you learned today? What will you stop doing as a result of what you've learned today? Slide 52, we look at self-assessment of delegation skills. We're going to look at for personal development. Rate yourself as you are now. I was talking about the survey, diagnosis survey. You look at all what happens here. Now you have to rate yourself now. You've had the topic, what we discussed. Now rate yourself as you are now. At regular interval, 3, 6, or 12 months, reassess yourself from that survey you see earlier. Slide 53. Did we meet your expectation? Did we meet your expectation? Now start slide for now, a question, clarification, comments, write on the chat box. You have a question on it, write on it. You have a clarification, you have a comment, write on the chat box. It's very important. Your feedback will be very happy. We'll be very happy. Now we look at IIU. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global Brown confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed for providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the leadership of its visionary leader, Mr. Piyush Pandisa, a committed, inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist of the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. What is our mission in IIU? Many students lack the opportunity of quality education when they opt for skill and learning-based ventures. IIU provide the perfect opportunity for those students who want to pursue their studies and want to research in the field of technology, science, and social humanities. We aim at providing internship along with a golden chance of completing their diploma and professional degree virtually with no fees and at their homes. This opportunity will allow the students to gain and get guidance, mentors from their respective natures. Without wasting their money on transportation or any other unnecessary charges, and we have full access to online lectures. Students can finish their graduation or courses in 3 to 5 years without visiting the campus physically. IIU made it possible for every curious learner to benefit from its credit and non-credit system to finish their undergraduate or postgraduate degree, while offering an excess of choices for them. It will be a great of success to their desired profession by eliminating all the possible hurdles. We open the door for everyone at the global level who would love to avail the courses virtually and would admire those who cease their studies for various purposes to achieve excellency in the field of virtual education at an affordable price and free education for underprivileged, reaching every child at every door across the world. Provision of informative online and visual education by maintaining the global quality that makes the teaching and learning needs of the IIU's academic and research community a gateway of success to one's desired profession by eliminating all the possible hurdles, an opportunity for students to gain experience and allowed to get guidance from mentors across the globe. 57, slide 57, closing prayer. Dear Lord, teach me to be always true and honest in my emotions, words, and action. Give me the courage to do what is right and noble in your sight, so I can be a humble instrument to reflect your light. Amen. Slide 58, thank you, appreciation. Thanking God and appreciating IIU and all our team for this noble occasion. IIU, the world's first virtual international internship university, is the change. IIU bring the change, and IIU the revolution in the education system. Thank you all. All our listeners and supporters, may God continue to empower us as we keep on empowering other people. Thank you very much. Those that actually responded, we shall respond back to you. Thank you for every support you have given. Thank you very much. God going to bless every one of us. Empower us as we have started the journey. This year is a year of victory. It's a year of testimony. To those who work harder, they shall be rewarded. Thank you very much.